Alright, bye. Have a good day. Both of them or just one? Hey, ooh. Miss this one? Looking fresh. It is my clothes.
Please pardon the interruption. Can Misael Soto come to the front office? Misael Soto. Thank you.
Why is it quite?
I don't know, bro. I'm not feeling serious.
Attention students, class begins in 1 minute. Please transition quickly to class.
That's why oh fuck, I find my white shirt. Okay, what do you want? Jeans. They always we twins anyways. You don't want to see. You don't know.
How y'all know?
No. I ain't please, everyone, please, please.
I like your haircut.
Yeah, you got that nice fade, sir. Oh, it's
It's
crisp.
fresh
It's crisp. Hands on top.
cut.
You have to explain it on the side? What is a check?
It's black.
What you get? Honey.
Jabari. Jabari, go right here. Jabari, go right here. I'm in the ghetto.
Yes, he is.
minute, hold on.
Everyone, please pay attention. I've seen you guys are not following the seating chart, so please move to your seats the way it was initially defined.
What's going on?
If you have issue with the place where you're seated, email me or talk to me and I can move you if there is a sorry.
I can't read.
Kaya, please. Steven, at your seat. Alright, the one I gave you is the executive from last class, and there were 3 questions, and all these 3 questions are multiple choice questions.
You put this in Skyward already?
Say again?
You put this in Skyward?
Yeah, I already
Can
answered.
I go check my break?
Yeah, you can do it. So on the first one, it says there are 100 students enrolled in AP statistics. The average score is 80 and the standard deviation is 5. Okay? Everyone, look at your paper. I want to discuss these 3 problems. Okay? So now it says the teacher realized that she calculated everyone's grade wrong because she accidentally switched answers to 2 of the multiple choice questions. To rectify, she decides to add 20 points to everyone's test grade. What is the new average and new standard
I'm
deviation
looking at my grade.
of this score? So remember, when you add to your data points, your median will go up, your mean will go up, but your standard deviation and your interquartile range IQR will remain the same because those are based on difference. So in this case, the mean will be, because 80 first, now it's going to be 100 because 20 points added to each data, and the standard deviation will be 5. So the correct answer is D. Okay. So those of you who did D, they did fine, and the rest of you just look up and then note that your mean and median will increase if you add or subtract to your data points, but your standard deviation and interquartile range will not change. Okay. The second question was the teacher decides to curve the original test score by increasing test score by 10%. So if it was 80, what is 10% of 80? 8. So 10% means 88 now. And it says, what is the new average and standard deviation? So new average is going to be 88. And if we look, we have 2 options, C and E, as the new mean, which is 88. Now, I made a mistake when I said the standard deviation does not change. In this case, when you multiply or divide your data with some number, it will change, it will be affected. So, in this case, when you increase the mean by 10%, the standard deviation will also increase by 10%. So 10% of 5 is 0.5, so it's going to be 5.5. So the correct answer is E, but those of you who opted for C, I still gave them the point. So,
You said,
Hey, sir,
yes,
me and Jafari got the exact same answer, but I got a 90, he got a 100.
it's on the question number 3. Okay? So I'm going to third now. So the third problem says a data set of test scores is being transformed by applying the following rule to each of the raw scores. You transform your score by multiplying your raw score with 2 and then subtracting 4 from it. Okay? Which of the it says which of the following is not true. There could be multiple correct answers. So in this case, the statements which are not true are B, C, and D. Okay? So B says the range is equal to this, 2 times the raw of data scores minus 4. C says the standard deviation is also changed by the same way. And D says the mean equals 2 times the mean. So B, C, D are not the not true in this case. Okay, if you picked one of these or 2 of these, or you picked one correct, one incorrect, I gave you partial credit for that. So that is why you see someone getting 80 or someone getting 90 and so on. But this is what I wanted to discuss. So everybody understands now? Yes, go.
can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay.
on number 1, what should I have gotten? I'm sorry?
E.
D as a dog? Why?
Because once, they had 80, and then you gotta add 20 to it, so it's gonna be 100. And then once we was doing the work, he said the standard deviation doesn't change, so it's gonna stay 5.
Okay. Number 2, what should I have gotten?
E. Oh, my fault, my fault.
Whoa,
I'm
is it
sorry.
E or C?
He said it could be C.
Okay, it could be
He
C.
said he gave us points if we did C.
Okay, so,
The correct answer is E,
You're right.
okay,
Yeah.
why?
because it's all, given 10%.
Ooh, go ahead.
When you're multiplying or dividing, the deviation changes, in this case, by 10%.
Okay, so if I pick C, I should have still gotten some points though potentially.
Yeah.
And then number 3
It's B, C, and D.
is B, C, and D.
They're all not true.
They're all not true, and that's what I'm supposed to pick. Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alright, so with that, I will move on to today's instruction. So everyone got the handout? I have it, the handouts here. So when you move to the class, you can pick your handout from there, okay? Now,
So does everyone have the handout?
it says unit 1, day lesson 12. Okay, I want everyone to be working on the handout right here. So, anything I do on the board, I expect you to be writing on the handout that you have got. So at any point, if I come over to you and look at your work, I should see something done. You should not be sitting just blank and looking at me because I write something and I erase it, okay? So now, can someone read the 2 objectives here? Yes, Johnny.
Students will be able to determine how changing the units of measurement affects the value of the calculated statistics. Students will be able to compare graphical representations for multiple sets of numerical data.
Right, 2 things. We have a set of data, we may change the units. We may change the values, like we did the last time. Add, subtract, multiply, or divide, and we see how the calculated statistics will change. What does that mean? What is calculated statistics? The mean and median and standard deviation.
Yep.
What else?
Attention teachers,
Basically, when
please
we
pause to
process
take
the
attendance.
data and we get some key information from that, that is called statistics, calculated statistics. It is the mean, it is the standard deviation, median, so those kind of things. Also, if we have 2 or more different numerical data and we see their distributions, how we can compare those. So this is what we will do. And if we go further down, so this we have already done, describe key features of a numerical distribution. What abbreviation do we use for that? Can someone tell me how to describe a distribution? CUSS, very good. What does C stand for, Francisco? CUSS, what is C? Center, very good. What does that mean? What numbers, what things come to your mind when you talk about center? Median and mean, very good. What is U?
Unknown or unusual features.
Unusual features, very good. What could be those? Outliers and the gaps in your data. Good. What is S? Shape. What kind of shapes could you have?
Screw to the left, screw right.
Symmetric, skewed left, skewed right. Very nice. What is the spread? The last one, S. I told you already. So spread is what?
The range.
Range.
The range and if you have box plot, interquartile
Quartile.
range, very good. IQR, that is Q3 negative Q1. Alright, let's jump on to the first problem now and look at this problem. Example. Okay? Can someone read the statement, please?
The following box plots represents the stocks sold during a 200 trading day period at 4 different companies.
Thank you. So now we have basically 4 different distributions, all shown as a what kind of plot?
Box plot.
Box plot. Now on the box plot, just to make sure you remember, what is your 5-number summary? What is this point?
The minimum.
The minimum. All these points are the minimum. What are these points?
Maximum.
Maximum. Very good. What is this point?
That's the mean.
Median. Very good. Median. Midway. 50%. Okay. What is this point? Anyone else?
That's quartile or something? Quartile one?
This one is Q1 quartile 1. Very good. So basically that means from this point onward, you have 75% of your data. Greater than this. Less than this, 25%. Okay? And what is this one?
Third quartile.
Q3. Good. Median you can also say as Q2. But this is Q3. And then the difference of these two, Q3 and Q1 is Q3 negative Q1, we call it interquartile range, IQR. Okay? So 5 things: minimum, maximum, median, Q1 and Q3. Okay? And from these we find out the IQR value. I want you to look at the 5 questions based on this data, and I'll give you a couple of minutes and then we'll discuss these in 2 minutes. So what are we doing now?
Just read the question.
Read the question and try to think of the possible answers, and then we'll discuss. So I'll go back and I just have your sentence. Where BL? No. Okay. Part A. Compare the ranges of distributions of number of stocks sold during a 200-day trading period. How do you calculate the range? Sierra. How do you calculate the range? Maximum minus minimum. Also, very good. What is another way of finding the range? IQR, which is very good. Q3 negative Q1. So I want every one of you to find the answer of the range using minimum maximum values and Q3 and Q1. So grab a calculator, everyone, if you want, and then do this for all these 4 distributions.
Yes.
More like 18.
It's more like who?
18.
It's more like 18.
It was already like this. Then like it's on.
Oh, it's like 1800.
I just said 1800.
I was confirming this.
Yes.
This is what
Thank
it is
you.
in the morning. Actually, it was
So
already
this is for the baby.
if I didn't have to move it over. Then I think Mr. Lemon, now
Hey, you know that?
You got a woman?
Stop, bro.
Johnny,
Like
Don't
this.
do it.
and you wanna do it too.
Yes, I'm just wondering. Either way. There we go. We forced it. Okay, and then right over here. Yes, okay. So then I think you can bring this down and then just write it up.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. I want you guys to tell me what you got for your range. Okay, so max, negative, minimum, and for your IQR, which is Q3 negative, Q1. Okay, and remember, in such case, you are not given specific numbers. So all you need to do is read just off from your graph like this. Okay, so like this. You can approximate your values. You don't need to have exact numbers. So for company D, what is the range in terms of the difference between minimum and maximum? Can someone tell me? What is the maximum value in case of company B? Here.
You said the maximum value
Yes.
for D
Yes.
is like 4,700,
Okay, let's try it as 4,700. What is the minimum value?
like 600.
600. Very good. So in this case, it's gonna be 4,100. Okay. What is your Q3? Where is your Q3 located? 3,000. Where is your Q1? Q1 you take from here and you come
I
down.
said about a good 17.
Yeah, maybe it's around 1,700.
Oh, you said 1,800.
Okay, 1,800. So now that is gonna be 3,000 negative 1,800. 1,200. Okay? Good. So the same way you do for the other three companies. Okay? Everyone gets this one? Everyone must do the rest of it so that this part is complete. Okay? I'll give you a minute and then I can just move on to the next one. Yeah, correct. And then you subtract negative. What do you get? 34. 34. If you go Q3, what is this Q3 here? What is this? What's the difference? Very good. Just go ahead with same way. Here, 25% view data you can see. That is Q1. First quarter. Then the midline is Q2 or Q3. That's like half the data. And half is more than that. And then this is your Q1. So now you want to take Q3 to Q1, but you read off your Alright, so Marco, this is Stefano. Johnny, come to your seat. Alright, so everyone is now sure how to do this thing? Yes. So one is maximum negative minimum, that is your range. And the second thing is IQR, Q3 negative, Q1. So all these values you read off from your x-axis. Okay? Yes.
Can you go over C real quick, please?
Company C. Can someone do it for company C here on the board?
No, not for company C, question C.
Part C, okay. Yeah, we are moving to part B and then C. So, thanks Steven, I think we will move on and I hope everyone has done it on his paper or her paper. So part B says, suppose we are told the first quartile for one of the companies sold 500 stocks. Which company best meets this criteria? So for this, yes, Gauri?
I say the company B because it's closer, the IQR is closer to 500 stars.
Okay, you say B because IQR is around 500, right? It says the first quartile. Yes, Kaya?
I said company B because the first quartile is 600, which is right by 500.
When I say IQR,
Yes.
that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, in this particular problem, when it says the first quartile, which company best meets, then we need to see which company has Q1 close to 500. Okay? So this and this, all these have Q1 much greater than that. This one is close to 500. So company B is the right answer. Well done, Kaya. And good attempt, Jabari.
Good attempt, Mark.
So we don't go for IQR, we simply see where Q1 is. Okay? Part C. What is the highest possible number of stocks sold by all the companies? And then justify your response.
Sir?
Yes, Johnny.
So I was thinking, this is what I was thinking, how I got the answer. You know, the edge of the green part, I would add all of those up and then divide by 4.
This,
No?
this.
Yeah, I would add all of those up and then divide by 4.
Add this and this and this and this
Yeah, and then divide by 4.
and divide by 4. Okay. Why do you do that?
I don't know, it just seems smart to me. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Okay.
Because it seems.
Yes. Priscilla, can you say it again louder for the class?
You add all the maximum of all companies and then divide by 4.
Yeah, good job.
So when it says the highest possible number,
Oh, I see what I did.
highest means you pick the maximum value. Number one. The next thing it says of all the companies, sold by all the companies. So you pick the maximum values for each company and add them up. But you don't need to take the average. You don't need to divide. Okay? But very good. So basically, what we are doing is we look at the statement and we try to link the words of our statement with the graph. Okay? So when it says the highest, immediately our eyes go to this point. When it says all the companies, we immediately think of adding them on. Okay? So what is the total in your case? Someone can tell me, please?
You said what?
Around 4,700 plus 4,600 plus
2,700.
2,700. Very good. Around 14,500 is close to that. Between 14,000 and 15,000. Everyone understands this part? Yes? The answer is 14,500 roughly. Basically,
14,500.
yeah, you add this, plus this, plus this, and plus this. All of these when you add, and it doesn't matter if you get 14,000 or you get 15,000, because we are just approximating these values. Someone may say it is 4,700, someone may say it is 4,800. Okay? So if your number is off by few hundreds, this way or that, still your answer is correct. Because you read off from the graph and you have approximate values. Okay? Yes.
You go over F and G.
Yes, definitely. After C, let me go over with D and E. D is what is the lowest possible number of stocks sold by all the companies. So what we do is, in this case,
Add all the minimums.
add all the minimums.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everyone knows that?
Yeah.
Just take the minimum value and add them all for all the companies.
I got 6.
Oh, lo añades todo.
Very good.
A ver.
So minimum values here are like 600, 300, 900, and then maybe 700, and then 1000.
I got
You don't need to average them. You don't divide by 4. You just add the minimum value.
Oh, so it is two.
So it's not going to be 2500, 2600.
I got 2700.
Okay, good.
So,
So part E says, suppose we are told to invest in companies in which 75% of stocks sold have a quantity of at least 1500. Which companies meet these criteria? So we are going to invest in a company which has sold at least 75% of its stocks at 1500 or above. Yes, Steven?
D and D.
C and
D.
D. Okay, you said these two, right?
Yeah.
Why? How did you pick these two?
Because they go first one started 1500.
So 1500 is here, right? So if it says, let's check your answer, okay? So it says 75% of stocks have a quantity of at least 1500, right? That means your Q1 should be 1500 or more. So 1500 is here, right?
So it's D and D.
So this company
C and D.
has exactly 25% less and the rest is more. So C, very good. Yes, C is an option.
It's D.
And also D.
Yeah.
So both of them. Perfect. Good thinking. Now let's go to part F. Why might someone choose to invest in company C as opposed to rest of the company? So if someone says, I want to invest in C, Rodrigo, what do you think?
I'd say because company C makes more money.
Yes. If you look at their Q2 and Q3, Q2 is bigger, greater, and Q3 is far greater than all the other companies. So this company has a higher probability of giving you more profit than the other company. Okay, so you again look at the quartile values. The last one. Why might someone choose to invest in company D as opposed? Now someone says I want to invest in C and someone else says I want to invest in D. So if someone goes for D, why do you think is the reason for that? Yes, Rodrigo.
In this situation, I'm a little confused, but in my opinion, I think because D has a minimum of at least 15,000 sold.
D has a minimum of?
No, I'm saying when it comes to centerpiece,
Uh-huh.
you look at the centerpiece of the actual, like the average of majority of the minimum or most of the data is,
Uh-huh.
15, say about 1500 is at least the minimum they sell.
Or is this one, right?
We're quartile one, sir.
For quartile one. If we compare for D, the minimum is almost around near 2000. It's more than 1500. So yes, D has two advantages. Its Q1 is greater than all the other three. Its maximum is also greater than the other three. So you can say that if you invest in D, these are the two factors which affect your decision. You say that D is giving you maximum value out of all these four companies, and for D, your Q1 is far greater than the other three companies. So 75% your chances you will have a value which is better than the other three companies. Okay? Francisco, did you understand these two questions? Okay. So what we do is like I said, in each part we pick the relevant section of our box plot and we start comparing for all the companies. Now here we have a couple of very interesting questions. What can be determined from box plot? What do you guys think? If you have a box plot for one of these companies, what are we getting? Can you tell me please?
IQ order.
Minimum and maximum, very good. And median, good. Q1 and
2, 3.
Q3.
Yep.
There we go. And even IQR
Yep.
if we process Q1 and Q3, right? So this is also called a file number summary. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 data points, summary data points that we get, not the individual data. And this is what we get when we are using the box plot. The second question is, when describing data, when do we use the term approximately? We just did that, right? So when do we use the term approximately?
When you don't know specific, when you don't know the specific number or percentage.
When the exact value is not given. So we read off the value from the axis and we say that we are giving approximate value. Okay? So this is we already did and we know when to use that. Alright, let's move on to this problem. It says, it's a long actually problem statement. We have, in essence, I will summarize this statement. We have 60 companies which offer breakfast cereals. So we have 60 boxes from different companies. And then there are, some of them give the serving as like 1 serving. And then they give sugar content in whatever is the sugar content in 1 serving of that cereal. And some companies, they don't give 1 cup, they give like 3/4 of a cup. Okay, so 29 companies, they give 1 cup serving, and then 31 companies give 3/4 cup serving. So now we have same kind of information, but 2 different data. Okay, and it says this is how it looks like. Okay, so the companies which give the sugar content in 1 cup servings have this kind of distribution, which is 29 companies, and the companies which give sugar content in 3/4 of a cup serving, this is their data, box plot. Now, write a few sentences to compare the distributions of sugar content per serving for the 2 serving sizes of cereal. So, what we are going to do is we're going to compare. How do we compare?
What we just did,
CUSS. What is C for the top company?
the center, the median,
The median. Where is the median?
the line, the middle. So,
What value do you get for median?
for
Around 12 or 30. You just read off 12 or 30. Your best guess. What is the median for this one? 10. So the median for the companies giving 1 cup serving sugar content in that gives you 12 or 13. The companies that give you 3/4 of a cup serving give you a sugar content of 10 as your median. So median is taken care of. Next is U, unusual features. Then we can come to later. Next we go to the shape. What is the shape? In this case. Sorry? Say again. It's a box, but when we describe the shape,
the first one is screwed up.
skewed right, skewed left, or symmetric. In this case, it is skewed left because this part is much bigger than this part. So if you were to draw a bell-shaped curve, it would look like this. Okay? So this is skewed to the left. Very good. And this one? Symmetric. Alright. So now you notice that you write 1 sentence comparing the medians, 1 sentence comparing the shape, and 1 sentence comparing the spread. Right? So you could call these as 1 cup, companies with 1 cup serving, and companies with 3/4 cup serving. So the median is higher in this case than this one, right? The shape is skewed to the left in this case, and here it is symmetric. The spread, what is the spread? Range, maximum, negative, minimum. So what is your maximum? Around 20. What is your minimum? 0. 20 is your range for this companies. What is your range here? 14 negative 4, that is 10. So the range is much higher also in this case as compared to this one. And spread or range we already figured. Even if someone says, I don't go with maximum minimum, I would go with Q3 and Q1, you could as well do that. Okay? So you would say that Q3 is maybe around 14, Q1 is probably 3 or 4, so 10 or 11 is your IQR, Q3 negative, Q1. Here, your IQR is 12 negative 8, which is 4. So range is still higher in here as compared to this one. And unusual features, I will, let's do that. For unusual features, which is the U part, you have Q1 negative IQR and Q3 positive IQR. So these tell you your outliers. Okay? So let's do it in a short while. I think one of the questions is about this. So B part, it says, after analyzing the box plots, the student decided that instead of comparison of sugar content per recommended serving, it's more appropriate to compare sugar content for equal size serving. So to make it equal size, what he did was just multiply this with 4 upon 3. So 3 upon 4 multiplied by 4 upon 3 is equal to 1 cup. So now this is 1 cup and this is also 1. Okay? You just try to make the same basis for comparison. Okay? 1 cup, this is also now 1. So all those numbers which were here, you just multiply each number with 4 by 3. Okay? Make sense? Now if that is the case, this is what we get. Now, if you look at this one, and now you look at this one, things start to make more sense, don't they? So now, with new information about sugar content, we have what new information they give. What is the maximum here? What is the maximum here? So the maximum is pretty much the same. What's the minimum here? And here? 5. So here maximum negative minimum is 20. And here 20 negative 5 is 15. It was 10 last time, right? So it's coming closer to this, but still the range is less than this one. How about the median? Did you notice? The medians are way close to each other now. It's, as compared to the last time. Okay? So last time the medians, we had median at 13 and a median at 10. Now we have the medians as at maybe both are around 13. Okay? So still the shape is skewed left and symmetric. Alright? So we can again compare all those 4 things and we can write a sentence for each of those values. And based on the box plot shown above on this page, how would you expect the mean amounts of sugar to compare for the different recommended serving sizes? So now, here, where do you think your mean is? In this case and in this case.
12, 13.
Say again?
12, 13.
12 or 13 for 1 cup serving?
1 cup is 12.
So basically, this is your median, right? Your mean will depend on the shape of your curve. If your shape is symmetric, the mean and median are very close to each other. So it's going to be pretty much the same, like between 13 and 14 or slightly less than 14. The mean and median are very close in this case. What happens in this case? The mean is going to be less than the median because of many values which are to the lower side. Okay? So the mean will be less than the median. Very good. So this is how you answer. I am sure you guys are writing down all these points, and very quickly I want to show you. So if we quickly look at the key for this problem, it says, that's not the one actually. I have it actually open. This is another question. Yeah, yes. The cereals list a serving size of 1 cup has a median which is larger than the median for the cereals with a list serving size of 3/4 of a cup. So first sentence compares the medians. There is more variability, larger range and larger IQR for 1 cup cereals. Then this is the range they discussed. The shape of the two distributions differ. The distribution for sugar content for 3/4 is reasonably symmetric, and the median is in the middle of the box. So makes sense? The distribution for sugar content for 1 cup cereal is clearly skewed to the left, skewed towards the lower values. So the median is pulled to the right side of the center box. These are like again what we discussed. One sentence discussing C, U, S, and each. Part B. When we change this serving to 3/4 of a cup to 1 cup, is this the end of the class? Okay, please try to complete this handout so that when you come tomorrow, we'll do the exit ticket based on today's work, and then we'll continue with the lesson tomorrow. Okay? Thank you. And when you come tomorrow, I will look at your handout and I want complete work from your side.
My guy, what's up, my guy? You get your song, my guy. See, why you couldn't do this, Mr. President? Mr. President, right? Jinxing me, bro. Now I gotta go find some wood to knock on. You gonna wear a suit, bro?
I just got up. Can I get up on myself up there? Can I get up for it? Huh?
Here you go, Mr. President.
Hey, look, your big head about to rip. Don't rip it. You'll be saying.
I'm just not gonna.
Yeah. You ain't get no discount though.
I'm dead, it's not my problem.
I'm just saying.
Nobody, when you die,
What?
when you die, I'll be your little kitchen. You know, I'll just do it.
Keep it coming from here.
Attention students, class begins in 1 minute. Please transition quickly to class.
That's sad. Is he going to the gym? Like, he's not Bro, you really made that joke. He's here now? Yeah. Bro, they had it scheduled. He had 3 scheduled.